Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. Last week we looked at every nation in the UEFA Euro 2024 and picked a driver to represent every one of those nations in a hypothetical motorsport tournament that would run alongside for football. But Euro 2024 is not the only football tournament that's going on right now. Over in the Americas we have the 2024 Copa America. So let's do the same for every one of those nations. And if you thought it was difficult finding top drivers for countries like Albania and Romania, wait till we get to Panama. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and let's choose the top driver for every nation competing in the 2024 Copa America. Argentina. Once upon a time, Argentina was one of the greatest motorsporting nations in the world, with stars such as Juan Manuel Fangio, Jose Gonzalez and later on Carlos Reutemann. But by the end of the 20th century and the start of the 21st, they were relying on the likes of Norberto Fontana and Gaston Mazecan for glory, a bit like relying on a sloth to win the Grand National. Nowadays we have a few we could choose from. Agustin Canapino is a successful driver in Argentina and a pretty mediocre one in IndyCar, but Jose Maria Lopez has had plenty of success in World Endurance with Toyota. But the top Argentine driver right now is Franco Colapinto. The Formula 2 race winner is the best hope Argentina have of getting their first Formula 1 driver for over 20 years, and he just happens to be a very talented driver indeed. Canada. Oh, Canada. Am I really going to have to say Lance Stroll is the best race driver to represent your nation? Well, who else is there? There are no Canadians in IndyCar in 2024, none in Formula 2 or 3, and Nicholas Latifi has given up on racing entirely. So yeah, I guess Lance Stroll is the only top-level Canadian in racing in 2024, outside of a few who take part in the IMSA and the World Endurance Championship. I just can't, in good conscience, choose Antonio Serravalle, who has never won a race, over Lance Stroll, who has at least got a couple of podiums in Formula 1. Chile has to go to the hard-working Nica Pino, a very successful endurance racer with success in Europe and America. He finished runner-up with Inter Europol in LMP3 in the European Le Mans Series and has podiums in the IMSA, also in the LMP3 class. He now races for United Autosports in the World Endurance Championship and the USA, also racing for Nielsen in the European Le Mans Series. Peru. The only Peruvian race driver I can think of is Matthias Zagazzetta. The 20-year-old is taking part in his first Formula 3 season in 2024 with Genza, and so far he's failed to score points. In fact, he hasn't won a race since 2021 in British F4, where he finished runner-up in the championship to Matthew Rees, who now races in the Porsche UK Championship. Ecuador. Now, if this was a case of drivers who fly the Ecuadorian flag when they race, then this would be impossible. I just can't find any. Luckily, there is a top driver who was born in Ecuador, but races under an American racing license. Juan Manuel Correa. The star of Formula 2 has had many highs and lows, but recently took his first Formula 2 podium since his horror crash in 2019. He also just happens to be born in the Ecuadorian capital city of Quito. Venezuela. Well, with the children of Johnny Cecotto all now giving up on their racing careers, Maldonado retiring from racing to the disappointment of scrap merchants everywhere, we will have to go for his cousin Manuel Maldonado, a competent European Le Mans Series driver who's made a couple of Le Mans appearances. Mexico. Definitely not Sergio Perez, who I feel would struggle to be the top driver for most of these countries. Rafael Villagomez has done better than I thought in Formula 2, but he is still last. There are some good young drivers coming through the ranks, such as No Leon and Santiago Ramos, but luckily there is a Mexican racing star in America, and that is Pato O'Ward. 5 IndyCar wins, and he's been in the top 10 in the championship every year since he joined Arrows McLaren. Surely a future champion and Indy 500 winner who has been given a chance to drive McLaren's Formula 1 car because he's just that damn good. Jamaica. Fraser McConnell, obviously. Are there any other top Jamaican racing drivers? Usain Bolt is second and he doesn't have a car. Fraser McConnell is a rising star in Rallycross, having taken wins in Nitrocross, Rally X and Extreme E. He finished runner-up to Robin Larson in Nitro earlier this year and will be challenging for the Extreme E Championship for Acciona Sainz later in the year. United States of America. This is much harder than it seems because whilst there are a lot of American race drivers, There are not many great American race drivers. Logan Sargent is just no, he is sadly not very good and is soon to be unemployed. There are some talented youngsters coming up the ladder, such as Formula 2 race winner Jack Crawford and Max Esterson, I guess. No, we are going to have to look elsewhere. IndyCar is the obvious place, and only one American has won the IndyCar Championship in the last decade, and one of only 3 to have won the Indy 500 in the same space of time. Joseph Newgarden, the only American to win an IndyCar race in 2024, 2 championships, 2 Indy 500 wins. He's a damn good driver and would represent America superbly. Bolivia. On the day I'm writing this episode, there is a coup going on in Bolivia, so they have bigger things going on than what some poxy YouTuber thinks about the quality of race drivers coming from Bolivia. It's low, very, very low. Marco Balacia has been racing in WRC2 for the last 5 or so years and has a few podiums, scoring points in the WRC on the odd occasion. Panama. Does Valentino Mini still race? He was pretty good in the 2022 Motorsport Games, finishing in the top 10. He then scored 2 points in the French F4 and has seemingly disappeared from motorsport, possibly washing up in a canoe in Britain. If anyone has any better suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Uruguay. There has not been a Uruguayan in Formula 1 since Alberto Uriah and Oscar Gonzalez raced at the 1956 Argentine Grand Prix, and there are still no great young drivers from Uruguay making their way up the single-seater ladder. Luckily, there is a star in touring car racing in Santiago Arusha, a driver that did have success in America, finishing runner-up in Indy Lights twice, finishing behind Ed Jones in 2016 and Kyle Kaiser in 2017. He then finished behind Pato O'Ward and Colton Herta in 2018. Since then, he has switched to touring cars and won races in the TCR World Tour for Lynk & Co. If not him, then it would be Mauricio Lambiris, who races in the Turismo Carretera series in Argentina, so definitely Santiago Arusha. Brazil. There are plenty of quality Brazilians around at the moment, strangely none of which race in Formula 1. Tony Kanaan and Helio Castroneves have been stars of IndyCar, still decent even in recent years. Gabriel Bortoleto is currently one of the top youngsters coming up in Formula 2, but Caio Collet has proven his worth over in Indy NXT. Even a young Rafael Camara looks like a decent shout. But this has to go to Felipe Drugovich, despite the fact he isn't actually racing in Formula 1 yet. We all know he should be in the second Aston Martin, and hopefully one day Lawrence Stroll realises that too. Colombia. Sebastian Montoya races under a Colombian licence, but was actually born in Miami, and let's be honest, he's not great. Not anything like his dad was anyway. Besides, I really like Gabi Chavez, the former Indy Lights champion who never quite made it work in IndyCar, is still a top quality GT racer, plying his trade in the IMSA. Paraguay. Only one Paraguayan comes to mind, and that is Formula 2 driver Joshua Dirksen, flying the flag for Paraguay by getting the AIX PHM team's first points in Formula 2, and despite me writing him off completely pre-season, has been surprisingly good. I mean, he only has 1 points finish, but that's one more than I thought he'd get. Costa Rica. Our final country is Costa Rica, and again, I can't think of many top quality Costa Ricans, so we will go with Frederick Lund, a Dane born in Nicaragua, who briefly raced with a Costa Rican race license. He's not great, and he's not even really Costa Rican. So they are the best drivers from every nation competing in the 2024 Copa America. Some obvious ones like Franco Colapinto and Fraser McConnell, and maybe some outsiders like Marco Balacia. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any better suggestions from any of these countries, I'd love to hear them. More motorsport incoming, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.